Warpugs, we have a request today, and I already apologize for the voice I'm about to make when I say who made this request.
The Great Horned Rat wanted to see the Grim Clapers breaking the Geneva Convention at Warhammer 3.3. Yes.
Anyhow, I'm done. I'm done with that. I'm not doing it again. I already know it's about the Skaven because it comes from the Great Horned Rat. I would like the Great Can of Raid for the Great Horned Rat. I'm just saying. I apologize. In any case, we're going to get into the breaking of the Geneva Convention and Total War Warhammer 3. This is done by the Grim Kleeper. I already know what's about the Skaven. Because the only other people it could be about when you're talking about breaking the Geneva Convention is the Dark Elves. And yeah. We already know I won't watch anything with the Dark Elves in it unless I am never going to watch another thing about the Drukhari or the Dark Elves unless I get my Dark Elves survival sim game. I'm saying it right now. It's a lie, but I'm saying it. Here we go, breaking the Geneva Convention. Let's go. Good times rhymes with war crimes.
Warfare, ignoring the Geneva Convention,
yes,
and putting a whole new meaning to the term friendly fire.
Yes.
Because today in Total Warhammer 3, we'll be drowning the world in rats.
Yes.
While keeping a level head, befriending our neighbors, and being an overall menace to society. What can we accomplish? With the release of Immortal Empires, Total Warhammer now has a massive new map combining 3 different campaigns into one, and with it,
wow,
some interesting new mechanics. Naturally, it was only fitting that we play as the best faction. For those of you who don't know who the Skaven are, 2 words. Many rat. Our starting leader was Ikit Claw, a very sane and stable individual. In the
You a lie.
options, I enabled something called Ultimate Crisis Mode, which takes the endgame and tweaks some things, so I'll explain it a bit more later. Starting the game, our main settlement was Skavenblight, the breathtaking and luxurious capital of all rat kind. The map we were on was the Immortal Empires map, which is insanely large with about 278 factions, of which we were gonna break.
Oh my god, I don't even want to think about how long Turn's taken this.
But first, we needed to secure land, starting with the settlement next to us.
Do it.
Despite Warhammer being mostly medieval, Skaven have miniguns. As a bunch of rat people, not only have
Yes, because Skaven.
our units not touched grass, they don't know what grass is. Our front line is weak. Our heroes walking toothpicks, and our morale isn't real. But we do have one major strength. Above all else, Skaven are cheap. So cheap, in fact, that the lives of my infantry are worth slightly less than my bullets. I like how we've already won the battle, and I am still friendly firing my own units. With the fight ended, we'd gained our second settlement. On the campaign map, we could construct and upgrade buildings to train higher level Skaven. Troops that were basically still bad. Ikit Claw also leveled up, so he started to train his campaign skills. Ikit also has a special mechanic called the Forbidden Workshop,
Lovely,
which lets us upgrade our various weapon teams and build Doom Rockets. As the name suggests, they're tools for world peace.
You a lie?
Our first upgrade was for our Rattling guns, which is a minor change that gives them infinite ammo. We walked over the capital
that's just a minor
Empire
change.
enemies, but the garrison was too large to fight, so I backed off. After ending the turn and cycling through all 200 AI factions, the enemy army attacked us outside the city. Because we were fighting in a choke point map, we clogged both entrances with an indomitable wall. Skaven slaves. With the enemy army blocked up, I decided to test our weapons. Despite mowing down the rest of them and winning the battle, we took 722 losses. Gee, I wonder why. With the army defeated, we moved on to their capital and began to siege it down.
Nice.
While the siege continued, we had another important scheme being set up. I'd moved a Warlock engineer all the ways up to the Wood Elf cities to use his special ability, expanding the Under Empire. This essentially establishes a city under a city. We can build various things in our Under cities too, but most importantly, steal money and build subterranean dirty bombs.
Good.
No, that too. But
yeah, you know, you gotta make, because you gotta have goals.
First, we need to keep expanding above ground, so we took that capital city, eliminating our only enemy. Never mind. For some reason, people think we're some kind of threat to society. Officer, I wasn't doing anything illegal, it was just a Breaking Bad reference. By expanding the Empire, people would get unhappy. And not just people, this guy's a tree. Plus, some Undercity buildings automatically expand to other settlements, so pretty much everyone would hate us. Back to being above ground, we moved over to colonize the ruined settlement, but apparently a Beastman Herdstone prevented me from doing it. Surely going to war with one more person couldn't hurt. Attacking the settlement allowed us to show off our warp grinders. By causing minor ecological damage damage, we could immobilize all nearby enemy units. We occupied the settlement and ended the turn. And a message from the Fae of Britannia. I wonder what that's about.
Oh.
And this
Did they yeah, okay.
guy too, I don't even know who you are. We colonize one of the ruins, continue upgrading our settlements, and the beastmen were back.
Yay.
I am scared. But
No.
I guess the AI wasn't, because instead of fighting back, they literally just sat there while eating bullets. Do you ever look at someone and wonder what is going on in their head?
Well, I have no doubt that some of you look at me and just envision a massive brick. Anyhow.
Despite our advantage, they tore through our front line. Well,
Really?
I tore through our front line. We mopped up the rest of the beastmen, and before long, it was just one left. Their leader, Morgur. But of course, we had bullets, so he didn't stand a chance.
Uh-huh.
Is what I thought. Morgur
Right.
has health regeneration, meaning he just sat there and tanked several thousand bullets. It could claw, routed. All my infantry ran away, and my rattling guns kited him for 30 minutes straight. I have a question. Why, God? Even after the fight, we couldn't catch Morgur, so he lived to inconvenience me another day. But
Wow.
at least now we had a break for one turn. Orion's
Okay.
army attacked one of our cities, and while we couldn't win, we could deal damage. When defending settlements, we get insanely busted towers, which goes in line with throwing fodder at our enemy. 200 dead elves later, Orion sacked the settlement and ran away. He also attacked Ikit in a fight that favored us. Orion's
Okay.
army was fairly weak when we approached, and Orion, as one of the tankiest characters in the game, died immediately. After the
What?
fight, we started to upgrade our capital, and with it, we worked towards the pinnacle of Skaven weaponry.
Okay.
The wonderful beauty of chemical warfare.
Yes.
Before we could
Oh god, fully upgraded Skaven settlements just evoke war crimes on such a majestic level. It's just ridiculous.
violate international safety laws, we had a bigger problem. One covered in leaves, wood, and was basically a 30-foot tall tree.
Lovely.
Durthu had decided to wander over and Fus Roda for the trees. And right behind him, amazing. I recruited another lord and trained more rattling gunners. After Durthu occupied a settlement, we attacked with our combined armies. Hello, giant tree man. With Durthu destroyed, we turned to deal with Morgur, if I could find him. Beastmen
Okay.
armies hide by default, so another siege. Somehow, our paperweight garrison almost won, until some dogs ran to the back, captured the victory point, and we lost. I'm sure my settlements love getting burned to the ground every other day. On the
Yeah.
bright side, we'd made
You're the Skaven. It's not exactly like you're losing a lot of like precious materials there.
an ally, Aranessa Zaltspite, who was basically an undead pirate queen. Somehow, she girl-bossed her way into burning down the Wood Elf forests. So
Nice.
she was helpful. Going forward a bit, we recolonized all of our ruined settlements, made contact with the Chaos Demons in the north, and discovered the Shrine of Cain.
Oh.
On the map, there exists an item called the Sword of Cain. Basically,
Oh.
it turns someone into a murderous psychopath, so we're unaffected. If we had it, we'd turn Ikit Claw into essentially a god. It would also put us at
There
war
you go.
with pretty much everyone. So again,
You gotta do what you gotta do.
business as usual. Our second army got intercepted by the Beastmen, and after retreating... Oh, hello, Durthu. Wait, why
Wow.
are the Beastmen your reinforcements? Both of you are at war. To deal with Morgur, bribery. As for Durthu, he kinda just moonwalked away. Yeah, that's not concerning at all.
Not.
But after everything was said and done, we'd finally secured our peninsula. Unfortunately, it came at the cost of something valuable. The itsy-bitsy unimportant ability to eat. Now, Skaven society is a lot like Soviet society. There is no food.
Right.
Each settlement, undercity, and army consumes food every turn. And we had zero. To get food, we could build certain structures or find another solution. Hello, city full of peasants.
No.
With a foothold in Castle French name, we continued through our research tree, built walls in our other settlements, and got a quest for Ikit's unique weapon, Storm Demon. So to get it, we had to go through a quest battle, which didn't look too bad, right?
Ikit has the biggest brain of all rats.
Alright, that's all I needed to hear. The
I'm actually disturbed.
quest battle was against the Lizardmen, who have high health infantry and monsters. In terms of infantry, we had Poison Wind Globadiers, which damage everything they hit. They're also the reason why my front line is dead. Our Rattling Gunners could deal with most of their monsters. Case in point. I also forgot to mention that we picked up these extremely elite Council Guard, which are essentially our best infantry in the game.
Which
That's why
suck.
we are shooting them in the back. As we did with the first army, a second second one came in too. This one entirely made up of monsters and dinosaurs.
Nice.
We finished off the initial army, got hit by an orbital sunbeam, kind of bad.
Lovely.
And the Ripperdactyls reenacted a prehistoric Pearl Harbor, but with the monsters, it was still close. Our infantry were like grass, being mowed by bigger grass. And we had to kite the lizardmen back with our Rattling guns. Through the power of the NRA, willful ignorance, and running away from our problems like it was 2020, we barely came out on top. So in winning the battle, we took 830 casualties. But if you do the math, the enemy only got 370 kills. Oh.
Seems legit.
Oh no. With the battle won, we got access to Ikit's Storm Demon weapon. The global obedience bonus was nice because towards the end of the game, things get hectic.
Yes.
By enabling Ultimate Crisis mode, we'd be fighting against ridiculous odds later in the game. Right after the battle, 2 Bretonnian armies showed up and started sieging our castle. Luckily, we leveled Ikit up to have Lightning Strike, which means he can lock reinforcements out of battles when attacking, so we could 1v1 any army. The masses of unwashed peasants were led by the Fey Enchantress, riding a meth addict Bojack horseman.
No.
While Ikit casually rode a giant electric hamster wheel, I was initially worried about their Grail Guardians, who are one of the most elite cavalry in the game. Or should I say, were the most elite. But isn't using poison gas against peasants kinda overkill? Well, according to my Magic 8 Ball, try again later. By winning
Yeah, but why wouldn't you?
the battle, we got a unique trait for Ikit. We also unlocked the Avalanche Mortars, which are kinda nuts. A legendary Wood Elf hero also showed up. A practical demigod, Ariel was one of the most powerful creatures in existence. And now, with the help of one sneaky rat, dead. We attacked the rebels of the Bretonnian army and ambushed them too. Now, how long do you think this whole fight will last? If you guessed 27 seconds, you'd be off by 1 second. Bretonnia got 0 kills, and we lost 75 people. That's fantastic. While all of this had been going on, we've been expanding the Under Empire. My warlock engineer had taken a slight detour and established a city under the Dark Elf capital. We also had one under the High Elf capital and every Wood Elf city. If you couldn't tell, elves don't really like us.
I doubt
Ariel, who was back to being a mild inconvenience. It was becoming clear that we'd have to deal with the Wood Elves before expanding further north.
Might want to deal with that.
In order to eliminate the Wood Elves, we need to raise or occupy every city in Athel-Loren. I occupied both bordering Bretonnian cities above us to have a staging ground. We fought the Fey Enchantress, again, upgraded the defenses on our main peninsula, and re-recruited a second army. This one will be filled with entirely infantry to supplement Ikit's army. Now, Wood Elves are generally isolationists, so they rarely leave their lands. That is, except for Durthu. Our second army was back in Skavenblight, so we needed to sally out and fight 3 massive Wood Elf armies. Army 1, Army 2, and Army 3. Meaning, once again, we have to fight this.
Basically Godzilla on steroids with tree sap for blood. I get it.
Future Desk. Outnumbering them 3-1, we started the battle, and before long...
You didn't.
Durthu was taking no sass. Our Rattling gunners had to keep kiting backwards, and after only 5 minutes, we'd taken 1,000 casualties. Still, we had insane numbers, so we gadded Durthu while he was bogged down and prepared to handle the second army. And handle, we did. We rallied our infantry and sent them into the meat grinder. As they say, if you're not dying, you're not trying. Despite most of the elf units being ranged, it's hard to compete with infinite ammo miniguns and corrosive poison. We routed the remaining elves and won the battle. With both armies...
Remember, guys, good times rise with war crimes, and the Skaven are war crime.
He's gone, it left Durthu's only city open, so we sacked it for 15k, then came back a turn later and raised it. Wood Elf settlements are undesirable for Skaven, which translates to massive debuffs if we claim them, making the Elf War much harder. What was helpful was getting our first Plague Priest, who can summon more rats during battles. With our strategy, it would get kinda broken, because we'd also gotten access to one of our most powerful units, Poisoned Wind Mortars. Now let's talk about something close to all of our hearts, the Geneva Convention. You might be interested to know that the convention doesn't actually talk about chemical weapons. See, that's actually in a separate document called the Geneva Protocol, where it states that nations can't use all that cool fun stuff in war. But what it doesn't prohibit is the manufacturing, storage, and commercial use of chemical weapons. Therefore, good times rhymes with war crimes. I fire off my mortar loaded with skin-eating toxins during an investor showcase, and it just so happens to land in the middle of a bunch of peasants. Have I really done anything wrong? If anything, it's their fault for standing within 10 miles of me. Poison Wind Mortars are...
That breaks the non-aggression pact.
...essentially our best anti-infantry unit, because they deal flat poison damage to all units, whether they hit elite infantry or Skaven slaves, we don't care. Which is especially relevant for our fight against the Wood Elves and their high-tier units. And on that topic, Orion was back. While he
Yay.
sat on the edge of our land, we took another Bretonnia settlement, got a trade agreement from a savvy investor, and much like NSFW Twitter, watched the Beastman get clapped. We also got an event with the leader's second army, leading to him getting badly mutated, which is apparently a massive combat bonus. How that
Okay.
makes sense, I don't want to know. To our right was Sartosa, a faction of undead pirates. We allied them and started to build an outpost, which would allow us to recruit their units. After sieging
Okay.
a few more Bretonian cities, the Fey Enchantress attacked one last time. The fight was 10 minutes of this. Winning meant that the Fey's faction was gone for good.
Yay.
Not like that stopped another Bretonian faction from continuing the war. And Lewin's army was, completely terrifying. So we ignored it. Besides that, our expansion was going well, but one problem. See everyone with a red outline around their icon? That means they hate us. See all the people
Really?
without a red outline? Yeah, neither do I. While we doubled our land, we were also in for a rude awakening, starting with the Wood Elves.
Okay.
At this point, we were at war with just about everyone. Sartosa was useless, and Grom the Paunch kept trying to make military alliances with me. Full disclaimer, he has one city. The Dark Elves didn't hate us too much, but every High Elf had declared war on us. So
Nice.
priority number 1, erase the Wood Elves. Orion, dead. Rebellion, dead. Ariel just chilling in some dead. We also intercepted an army and fought them in the woods. Seeing as they were outnumbered 5-1, we almost lost. I fortified our Wood Elf Thunder Empire, giving all units in the area Vanguard deployment. So
Nice.
in sieging their city, we could deploy all our units
Oh, Vanguard deployment is so busted in this game.
right on top of them. 5 seconds into starting the battle, and turns out mortars are pretty decent. We advanced into the city, had our reinforcements come in, and caught the AI bugging out on a barricade. You know, when you say line up against the wall, you don't actually expect them to do it. Running
Yeah.
away didn't help either. Probably hurt, actually. And with the battle won, we'd successfully taken Orion's capital. While we were doing that, we built up our Plague Priest capacity, which would give Ikit's army more clan rat summons. Sartosa also wanted us to join a war against the Tomb Kings, and as their stalwart military ally, no. Back to Athelorn, right in the center is the Yoke of Ages. It's kind of like that tree in Avatar with the blue hippies. Long story short, we cut it down.
Gone.
Another Wood Elf city later, and we'd taken half of Athelorn.
Nice.
Unfortunately, it opened us up to more attackers, like...
I am supreme.
Okay. Not even one turn later,
Lovely.
an Empire army. Luckily,
Lovely.
they walked straight into an ambush, and 68 seconds of fighting later, gone. Of course, right after, another ambush, with similar results. If you couldn't tell by this point, we're gonna be doing a lot of ambush.
Yes.
Skaven, by default, can ambush any army they attack, and by leveling a certain skill, we ambush almost 100% of the time. At last, we siege
And that's nasty.
the final Wood Elf city, but now with some extra help. Our Plague Priest had gotten a Plague Furnace, which on top of just being big, scary, and morally questionable, actively damages all enemies around it. But even now, our Death Ball wasn't in its final form. That being said, the siege wasn't particularly crazy. It was really just a lot of... With Waterfall Palace occupied, we now controlled all of Athelorn. Moving ahead a little, we eliminated another Bretonnia faction, laughed in Grom's face, again, and finally established relations with Arkan the Black. Considering my only friends are either undead pirates or undead Egyptians, my social credit score is not looking good. Speaking of social credit, I went ahead and checked who the most powerful faction by strength was. Turns out it was Taiwan, China. I said China.
What?
Now, while our army was looking seriously powerful right about now, it also couldn't be everywhere at once. So while we took 1, 2, 3 more Bretonian settlements, our armies were stretched thin. Still, I recruited 2 more Plague Priests to add to Ikit's army, because later in the game, we need an even better army to deal with Ultimate Crisis mode. We sacked more of Bretonnia, iced some random High Elves, and recruited a 4th army, filling it with stuff. After occupying one of Bretonnia's last cities, they made a desperate attack to get a settlement back. Now,
You're not getting it back.
my garrison is hot garbage. King Lewin can beat all of them on his own. Sorta. So getting into the battle, we built some towers and defenses. Lewin's army was small, so we pelted down his infantry and accompanying heroes. Now here's the real problem. Big boy. We couldn't actually damage him because he has health regeneration. So instead, I let him rout my units and chase them off. See, flying units can't be alone. If they don't land to fight, they'll eventually forfeit the battle. So Lewin beating my units is cool and all, but what about these guys? By hiding on the other side of the map, Lewin could not physically get to us before the air unit penalty kicked in, causing him to have a midlife crisis and die of a stroke.
Nice.
As Sun Tzu once said in his book, The Art of Cheese, skill issue. Lol. But the cheese wasn't done yet. One of our core settlements was being sieged by High Elves. Good thing we had that 4th army. Oh my god. Calling that an army was an insult to the military-industrial complex. It was bad. And now fighting a legendary lord, Eltharion the Grim. The plan was simple. By running some spiky hamster wheels into the middle of their army, I banked on one thing, which worked. With 60%
Oh my god.
of their army dead in 1 second, we hit Eltharion with the old Expelliarmus and won the battle. Overall, everything was
He's never allowed back. He can't come back. He can't come back to the island. It's over.
looking good. Ikit's army was getting better and better. Our 4th army was adding doom wheels, and we conquered Bretonnia. But as much as things were going our way, we had one final threat to worry about, because rapidly approaching was the endgame crisis.
Lovely.
In Immortal Empires, there are 5 different endgame crises to choose from: a Tomb King's Crusade, Dwarf Invasion, Orc Wa, Wood Elf War, and Vampire Apocalypse. And we'd picked all 5, with 200% difficulty. And at this point, we only had 10 turns to prepare. We had alliances with the Vampire Counts, Demons of Chaos, and were totally hated by Malekith, so good enough. In line with stalling, I reinforced our garrisons and finished this horror of an army, which was on a wild goose chase against a random High Elf army. But they weren't alone, because our entire northern land was being invaded. With the endgame crisis now only 5 turns away, I decided to just demolish the buildings for money and leave the settlements. The goal was to try and defend our core provinces so we weren't stretched too thin. A little bit of preparation later, we were on our final remaining turn. Now before I show you what the ultimate crisis looks like, here's everyone we were at war with before I ended the turn. Here it is now. Vampire Counts
Oh no.
invasion, check. Orc Wa, yep. Dwarves and elves, just a few. Oh, and Tomb Kings. How could I forget? In a matter of 1 turn, about 200 armies appeared out of thin air all around the world. And to make matters worse, goodbye, Athel Lauren.
Are you serious?
I'll see you in therapy. Oh, and remember Grom? This is him now. Something I didn't realize would happen was that the crisis automatically broke every treaty we had with Grom and Vlad. And
Oh, that just sucks.
the game acted as if we had broken them, so my reliability became 0. Now, while most places were
Escaping with reliability. Yeah, I press X to doubt.
essentially immediately overrun, our core
By the way, loving the music choice. I can get along with this. Terran music in Stark and Brood War is always great.
provinces were safe, but
Is this
given our
Brood War
proximity
or-
to both Athel Lauren
know.
and Mausilian, that didn't mean much. In terms of strength rank, we dropped to 28th, but don't worry, we're only at war with 1 through 27. We retreated
Lovely.
back into our territory, stole Grom's capital for money, and watched Athel Lauren descend into chaos. On the bright side, all this time we've been peaceful with the Empire, so as long as we didn't do something stupid. Right. Forgot I built that. Luckily, I don't think they noticed. Anyways, back to defending, I put armies on the bridges leading to our core lands. The Doomwheel squad got caught by 2 much larger Vampire Counts armies, so we blobbed up our units and advanced with our Rattling guns. But the Vampire army was way too large. Most of their monsters are designed to kill large units, so our front and back line were quickly overwhelmed. In summary, we got clowned. That left us with 3 other armies to defend the front line, so it get picked up the slack. With 5 Plague Priests, we could summon non-stop clan rats to block attackers, and making friendly fire even more acceptable. After winning the battle, Ikit fought another Wood Elf army. Using the same formula, we kited with the Plague Priests until the whole army had been finished off. But while Ikit was a powerhouse, he was also our solo carry, because our other armies got caught again by the Vampire Counts.
Oh,
Both
that
armies
sucks.
were mostly fodder with a diverse combination of rats, undead pirates, and chaos warriors. Remember, all people are equally worthless. We lined up near the corner to wait for our reinforcements and use our mortars. But because our first army had no Rattling guns, they advanced across the field and broke our lines. Given their infantry are undead samurai and ours are that, it was no surprise we broke. Wolves and crypt horrors just ran over our infantry because we had nothing to stop them. By the end, we'd inflicted damage, but ultimately lost the battle and 2 of our 3 armies. That meant it was just Ikit against everyone. Simultaneously, our economy was losing ground, more armies were pouring in from the north, and the Tomb Kings were sailing up from the south.
That's lovely.
More factions looked like a barcode. There was no chance we'd live much longer. So what could we do? Well, I mean, we could give up. As they say, it's about the journey and not the destination. Of course, whoever said that has clearly never driven to a Chick-fil-A on a Sunday. Locked door? No, I have the key. For a short campaign,
Yeah, the sheer fact that Chick-fil-A is closed on a Sunday makes me sad, but hey, it's their business. Let them do what they want.
In victory, we need to eliminate these 3 factions, which we've done, ruin 30 different settlements, also done, and level up the Forbidden Workshop to rank 3. For that, we just need a level 15 Warlock Engineer. And
Okay.
wouldn't you know, we had a level 13, which means we just needed one more battle, one grand and courageous conflict that would solidify our win. But who would we fight? Our arch enemy Durthu, or maybe the Red Duke and Massilian? High Elves, Dwarves, Tomb Kings, the world was our oyster. So to finish
Right.
the game, I did the only thing any honorable Skaven would do.
My scurvy crew tell me you come to offer things, rodent man.
Sure. Anyway.
Oh my god. Yep. Just go right ahead and do it. Do it to. Oh my god.
At last, by defending ourselves from Sartosa, we've achieved a short campaign victory. Now we can get started on the long campaign victory. And, no.
Guys, this is the first time that I have seen something by the Grim Cleaper, I think. And I'm pretty sure you guys are going to make sure it's not the last time. This was informative, educational, and it was good for kids and adults too. And I am very proud to have watched this with you. Oh my god. The amount of friendly fire this guy was doing to himself is astronomical. But I can only say that I approve. Because there's no more friendly than friendly fire, okay? Guys, wow. So, here we are, it's Saturday night. Tomorrow we have game night, and I don't know if we're playing Among Us or King of the Castle. I might put up a poll later. We'll see. We'll find out. This makes me want to play a playthrough of Total War again. I don't know who I'd play as, though. I really don't. I might put it up to a vote. See what people want to see. Play about an hour a night. Upload it and see what happens. I don't know, guys. We'll see. We'll figure it out. Until then, though, all of the Grim Cleaper's links are going to be in the description down below. I got a feeling you guys are going to want me to play the rats, but I know the Great Horned Rat will want me to play the rats. But in any case, all the Grim Cleaper's links are going to be in the description down below. Go check him out. There's already other requests from him. Like, this video right here, Dismantling the IRS with Necromancy. I'd watch it, but I still have flashbacks of hearing Cetra say Imperishable about 55,000 times. Check out the links in the description down below for Discord, everything else like that. I will catch you guys next time. If you'd like to support the channel, just hit the like button, leave a comment, and subscribe if you haven't already. And if you'd like to support the channel through other means, I have a Patreon down below. I hope to God I can get my second channel launched this weekend. Until then, Great Horned Rat Day is over.